Hang on, people. I got to put my glasses on because I'm old and blind. What is up, everybody? I am Taylor. It is, and I forget things very quickly. It is August 29th, 2023. None of those hand motions actually made 2023. I'm sorry. Before we begin, I thank you so much, everybody that voted for me for the CBC Awards. I'm a finalist, and in the comic book review category, which means some of you actually watch my cranky bullshit, which amazes me. I'm going to leave a link to the awards down below. Go vote for whoever. There's a lot of great categories, a lot of great creators. Just vote and see, and maybe you'll find something new. Maybe you'll find some people you like to watch better than me. Maybe you'll find new channels to explore. Whatever. CBC Awards. Anyways, yeah, now I can get into it. Comic book review. It's what I do. It's about the only thing I do because I'm lazy. Worst to best. I'm also releasing this on Tuesday night again. I don't think it's going to be a regular thing, but I'm not going to be able to do my cranky comic book chat tonight because I'm meeting a friend, so my buddy Eddie's going to be sad and lonely and crying without me, but it is what it is. Anyways, here we go. Worst. Moon Knight Annual #1. Although we are 26 issues into Moon Knight. Apparently this is the first annual. I swear there was another one. It's Marvel's dumb bullshit numbering and Marvel's dumb bullshit stuff. And I did not realize this, or I probably wouldn't even picked it up. Apparently they turned this year's annuals into an event called the Contest of Chaos. This is written by Jed MacKay and art by Kreese Lee, who's I only have known for their cover work. The art's not bad, and the writing is non-existent. This is one big fight scene. That's all this is. It's Moon Knight versus the other character whose name I don't remember, and they probably said it, but I don't really care. Let's see. Hang on. Let's see if I can get to it. Well, it's a Korean superhero. And, what the hell? Taeguki. Sorry, I'm butchering that. Tiger Division, he's part of, and this is just... There's a bad MacGuffin, they're fighting over it, and then there's a couple iterations of where they change how they're fighting. That's this entire book. There's no plot to speak of. There's Agatha Harkness and some dumb as shit framing device. I apologize. Sorry, I'm dying on camera. And I'm not re-recording this because I'm really lazy and I've got to go get to dinner with my friend. This is stupid. Don't buy it. It's really bad. How much was it? Probably more than normal, too. Of course, I don't even put the price. Oh, $5. Yeah, so I paid $5 for a really crappy fight scene throughout the whole thing, and a really, really stupid framing device, and possibly the dumbest event in the last 15 years, and that's saying something. This Contest of Chaos thing has the potential to be the most idiotic thing ever, and I don't care. I won't be reading any more of these. I'm done. Now, speaking of events and stupidity, and glad they're ending... We have Knight's End #1. This is the end of the Night Terrors. There might still be an Omega bullshit after this. I hope not. This is Josh Williamson's big thing where they took over the DC universe and gave the heroes nightmares for weeks. A bunch of different artists in this one, like always, and some of the artists are better than others. It's horrific. The coloring is, I think, the only constant throughout this thing. There are some fun splash pages and shit, but like... This story is also pretty damn stupid. It really is. The villain's dumb. There's one thing of quote-unquote consequence that comes, but then even at the very end of the book, they write themselves out of, like Josh Williamson writes a way out of it, so the consequences are minimal. And then you get inconsistent art throughout. You get like Howard Porter, you get a bunch of others, and it just doesn't feel... consistent. I know I'm right. I'm amazed at my words and my brilliance with this. And then there's an epilogue, and then it sets up the next big thing with the first appearance. So if you don't get this, you're going to miss out on the first appearance of a new villain, which might also have the world's dumbest name ever. And that's saying something given DC's bad naming conventions and stuff. But this is just a dumb ending. Not quite as dumb as Contest of Chaos, Moon Knight bullshit, but it's still pretty fucking stupid. Like this, how much was this one? $6. So I paid more for another stupid book. This is why I'm going to start reading all this shit digitally. I just can't deal with this crap anymore, honestly. And then, all right, we have Sean Murphy. Is Sean Murphy the one that writing all the White Knight Batman stuff? I think so. I don't know. Remembering stuff is hard. This is a Whatnot Publishing, the missive cover art by Walt Simonson. So that's why I picked this up. He's homaging himself, and he's allowed to do it when you homage yourself. I do like the Beta Ray Bill one better. But this is Plot Holes #1 by Sean Murphy with art by Sean Gordon Murphy. So handling all the art, and then colors by, doesn't matter, Dave Stewart and Matt Hollingsworth. This is meta. This is deep. This is an idea book. These are fictional characters fighting fictional characters in a fictional book. But they know they're fictional, so it's fucking deep. Deep. It's not bad. It's an exposition dump of the idea. And like, you get these different characters from different fictional bad books, like a racist 1930s kid, a 90s goth kid, superhero, a lady in charge of the whole mess called Ed, the Ed-itor. Johnny Manga, a big blue lion character called Roar with an umlaut. So I don't know how over the O. I don't know how you pronounce that. Roar, maybe. It's the idea is not awful. The printing quality is not bad, except for I can't tell if this is actually color rub or that's how it's supposed to be on the back. I think it is color rub, just given my LCS and the bullshit. So yeah, that's color rub. So don't look out for that if you're buying it, because the LCS is at least fucking stupid ass comic book shop across the street from you won't. Sean Murphy's art is solid, but I mean, it is a lot of verbiage in here and a lot of nonsense when it comes to the ideas and the logic to make it work. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. With the fictional characters knowing they're fictional, trying to stop a fictional bad guy from destroying all real books. Sorry, spoilers, that's it. But I mean, it's convoluted, it's a mess. I won't be reading any more of this, I just don't care enough. But I got my first appearance in about an 8.0 because of the fucking color rub. So if this does take off, it won't take off. It's not going to take off. It's a mediocre book. It's not awful, it's not great. That's most of the shit this week. There's not a lot of great stuff, and this is going to be a pretty quick review because like there's nothing fantastic to talk about, except for maybe at the end a little bit. We'll see how I do, but whatever. Anyways, this one came out last week, so I'm a big old cheater, but I didn't get it last week, and I got it this week. So this is Big Game. Mark Miller, Pepe Larraz, and yeah, this is where Mark Miller kills his own universe in a weird way. So right now, you have to know a lot about Mark Miller's universe to give a shit. I don't. There's some characters I do. There's like Eggsy from the movie. What was that movie called? Where he can bend bullets and I don't know. Whatever. That one. And then Kick-Ass Girl. Hit Girl. And there's a couple others in here that you might recognize from that have been turned into feature stuff or whatever. Then here's the newest heroes, the Ambassadors, which I read a little bit of, and then there's some older stuff which I've not read. And then there's the Nemesis or that person, Nemesis, yeah, Reloaded, from So he's tied a lot of recent stuff together, and he's like having his own big event where he's just blowing up all his toys. It's fun. Will I buy more of this like this? No. This is where I'm following my own rules. I'm going to wait for the collection from here on out because like it's a big fight scene. Not enough really happens here. And Mark Miller does know how to have like badass comic moments, and there are a few badass comic moments in here. I will give him credit for that. Like it's an entertaining enough issue. And like the stuff that does happen, you're like, oh, okay, that's kind of badass. And the problem is like I don't need to justify spending $5 a month on like a few fleeting little things in here. So like I can just read it collected and enjoy it when it's all said and done. I'm sure it'll get collected. Like look, Bastard is a complete collection. Nemesis Reloaded, the collection. Nightclub, all his shit gets collected. So like I don't need to like Magic Order, book 4. Like literally the entire back of this book is just advertisements for like trilogy, you know. So or not trilogy, words are hard, for his trade paperbacks. So that's all I need to know is like I can just read this collected and it'll be fine. So I'm gonna read it collected. It's fun. It's not awful. Your mileage may vary. Yeah. All right, next. These are a lot of event books this week, honestly. Black Hammer, The End, #1. Jeff Lemire and Malachi Ward. I like Malachi Ward's art. It's not going to be for everybody. It kind of reminds me. I'm not even going to say he reminds me because I can't think of it, but it's like pretty staid and stoic and still, and not your normal typical superhero-y stuff. Like in the action stuff, it feels like an underground artist doing action work. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that that's kind of what it feels like. This is I don't know if this is actually the end of his Black Hammer universe or if it's just his big climax on Infinite Black Earths event. If you've not read any Black Earth or Black Hammer, I keep saying Black Earth. Holy crap. I'm a hot mess today. There's a reason I was nominated for this award, people. It's because I don't know why. Anyways, Black Hammer, the end. If you've not read any of the other Black Hammer, and it's kind of, there's at least 3 or 4 different volumes you have to read to catch up, you're going to be lost. Like, you're just going to be out, you're going to have no clue who these characters are. He doesn't really give you a good way in, kind of just chucks you into the action. Now, the action itself is fine. It's kind of typical, like, end of the world as we know it, and end of the multiverse as we know it, and only certain things can save certain things. It's taken that with his, like, Lemire spin on the stuff that's gone before. So I don't want to spoil the stuff that's gone before, because I really enjoyed it, especially the first volume of Black Hammer, The Farm, I think it's called. That, and then the first 2, like, collected hardbounds are great. Then it kind of takes a dip. He's got a new character called Lucy, and, like, I can't remember what the other collections are called. And this is kind of dipping as well. It's not as good as the first bit thus far, but it's not bad. It's like him. It's a lot like Mark Miller. He's breaking all his toys, and he's maybe wrapping up everything, and maybe putting it all together is a thing. I might honestly just wait for it to be collected. Jeff Lemire has been a problem for me lately. I like a lot of his stuff. I like it collected very well, but the monthlies are making it hard to read. And like this actually reads better for me than a lot of his other monthlies have lately. So I'm torn, and it might scratch my itch enough where I pick it up monthly. But again, if you have not read any Black Hammer, do not start here. Like, you are just gonna want to poke your eyeballs out and have no clue what's going on, because he just does not give the new readers a way in. So if you like Black Hammer, you probably like this. There was Black Hammer Skull Digger, which I don't think I even read. That was the last one. And then there's a couple others. And like it's a not insurmountable task to track down all the old stuff, but it's pretty hefty. So I'd say maybe wait until this is done and see. And then if you really like it, go to the library, get the first volume, and see what you think of that, and then go from there. Don't spend all your money, people. Just save it. We're in a recession, and the whole world's dying, and we're all screwed. And global climate change and hurricanes in Florida and all that stuff. All right, Ultimate Invasion number 3. I'm hitting the mic because I really am a rookie. All right, this is Jonathan Hickman and Brian Hitch. I like it when they're together. Brian Hitch, his art, I think, is like kind of either my tastes have changed, or I think he's maybe lost a step and got kind of stiff. He always was a little stiff, but like this feels especially stiff. But I like Hickman's convoluted way of telling stories, and like his sort of jumping around that he's doing in this. I mean, this is an event without any crossovers, which I like, because it's 3 issues, not going anywhere else. It's just Hickman playing in the Ultimate Universe with his old toys from the Ultimate Universe, like the Maker, which is Evil Reed Richards, spoilers, and other characters that he helped work with in the Ultimate Universe. And like this issue takes a jump away from like kind of what is going on now, and this goes back in the past, I believe. Hard to sort of tell with Hickman sometimes, but this is Obadiah Stane and Stark trying to figure out what's going on in the Ultimate world, and then interacting with the Maker. And so I am not 100% caught up on the Ultimate Universe, but Hickman, and if you're caught up on Marvel, at least the history of Marvel for the past 30 years, you don't really need to know anything other than the Maker's Evil Reed Richards, and you'll be just fine. Because that's enough of an inroad here, and it's fairly accessible. I dig it. Maybe wait for collection on this one too, unless you're really just jonesing for Hickman stuff. I'm kind of jonesing for Hickman stuff, although this is $6, and like it just seems like everything's gotten way too stupidly expensive lately. So yeah, this is a step back from the previous 2 issues. I don't think it's as probably good as for the last couple issues. I really enjoyed those, and this I feel like is a step down. It does have sort of a meta commentary on what's going on in the world and politics and who's controlling what, and it's thinly veiled. But I'm not saying he's wrong. There's superheroes controlling everything, is what I'm saying. And I dig it. Like I at least have one infographic because you can't have a Hickman book without some kind of infographic, right? All right. And last, my favorite book of the week. This is from a new publisher called Dstlry. Devil's Cut, or the Devil's Cut. It's got a boatload of creators. This was $10, but I mean it's a beefy book. It's much bigger than the other stuff that came out this week. It's on high quality paper. It's I don't know the page count, but it's a fair number of pages, and like the creators that are attached to this are kind of a rock and roll of indie like headliners of indie comics. You get Mirka Andolfo, Brian Azzarello, Mark Bernardine, Elsa Charretier, Becky Cloonan, Francesco Francavilla, Lee Garbett, Jacques, Joelle Jones, and Ariella Constantina, Tula Lotte, Jamie McKelvey, Junko Bazzuno, Stephanie Phillips, Ram V, Eduardo Risso, Scott Snyder, James Tynan, and Christian Ward. So these are all short stories. Some of them feel like they're lead-ups to like things that are coming in this with this new publisher. Some feel fairly self-contained. They still might be lead-ups, but they feel like a more contained story. And some of them work better than others. It's a gorgeous book. It really is. Like if you don't like the art, wait 2 minutes. It'll change. There are a lot of heavy creators on this one, and it's like a lot of just fun stuff. I don't necessarily always like short stories, and I don't think everything in here landed, but I do think like when you give creators a chance to do their own shit and let them just kind of play, as opposed to like doing like the Marvel collection stuff where they like you have to like shoehorning things into a theme and they have to all make sense and they have to all be cutesy. You can get some pretty effective short stories. The ones I actually enjoyed like the most, I like Ron V's a lot. I like Jamie Kelby's a fair amount. Scott Snyder is actually a pretty decent horror one. And then Brian Azzarello's is okay. Elsa Charretier, it was a surprise hit for me. I really liked her stuff. And yeah, like I didn't care for the James Tynan a whole lot, and there's a few others I didn't care for as much. But like for a batting average, as far as like a collected anthology goes, that's not bad. And you get like just this giant tome, like okay, maybe not giant page count wise, but like compared to, I'd rather spend $10 on this than $6 on a Moon Knight fucking annual. Let's put it that way. So look, spot varnish and space and the big D. Take the big D, people. You can handle it for $9. For $10, you too can have a big D. Anyways, yeah, my favorite book of the week, and it really wasn't even close. I thought it was going to be a crap week, and it still mostly is. Like this is not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I'm guessing most people probably won't even pick this one up. This is a sampler. This is not apparently going to be reprinted a bunch of times, and they're not going to do a bunch of new stuff for it. So if you want to get it, pick it up. Otherwise, you can just probably wait and like figure out which creators you like and what they're actually going to do with this new publisher, the Dstlry, whatever, and go from there. So, but if you want to take a chance and like support a bunch of them and like get a sampling and maybe get some surprises and maybe find some stuff you like that you didn't think you would, like I didn't really figure like the James Tynan would be at the bottom of the list for me as far as like this collection thing, but kind of is. And like, and honestly, like Brian Azzarello, not the top. Mirka Andolfo, like better. So like, it's just I'm not ranking every damn thing in this book, but like the stuff I did like kind of surprised me for the most part. Although the Ram V I expected to like and I did like. So there you go. That's what I have. That's my books of the week. I'm going to release this on Tuesday night tonight if I can get this uploaded, and yeah, I should be able to. All right, that's about it. Don't be a dick, even if you're running to meet a friend for dinner, which is not the whatever. See you later.